There's the vehicle. We're all ready to head out on our big adventure. Brand new tyres, plus an extra spare tyre up on the roof rack. Vehicle is all heavily outfitted. Extra battery and extra fuel tank and a big snorkel over there for the air cleaner in case we have to go through a river. We're all set to head out. So where are we heading to tonight?
I'm not really sure about it until we get to it.
Okay. General direction?
General direction, Colder Highway as far as we can get. But towards Mildura.
Towards Mildura. If we get to Mildura.
If we keep going, we'll get to Mildura by 9 o'clock.
Okay. Well, we're going to head off and have some fun in the outback. So we'll see you all later. Bye. Bye. So we're on our way. We've just topped up the fuel tanks. Total capacity of 170 litres, which is about 44 gallons. And today it only took 88 litres, which cost $120 Australian, a little under $100 US. So that's our beginning of the most expensive part of our trip. And here we are. It's about 3:45 on Wednesday, September 13th. And away we go. Yeah, we've been going about an hour and we thought we were just on the edge of, at least I did anyway, edge of the suburbs and almost off onto the highway, but still running into a lot of commute traffic. It's about 20 to 5 p.m. So we'll be through it soon, we hope. So we're out of the city at last, and this is the kind of countryside we'll be seeing for the next few hours, or at least until it's dark anyway.
It's 67 minutes from Dad's place.
Yeah. Day 2, Thursday morning, and we're about to head off again. We stayed at this little hotel last night. And this is the town of Sea Lake.
Sea Lake. An inland salt lake.
Here we are at Uyen in the northwest of Victoria. We've just stopped here to have a look at the stockyards because sheep are all brought to be sold, taken off to be turned into our lamb chops. Go ahead.
Typical Australian roadside. Good old scrub goers.
We're in Red Cliffs, Victoria now, and we've just stopped to have a look at this incredible old steam truck built in 1916 to cart wheat and wool around. It's a huge thing. It's got to be 20 feet high or more, with this really interesting wheel track system. And it traveled at 1 mile per hour with a turning radius of 200 feet and had 60 horsepower of output from the engine. Total weight 45 tons. Get a better idea of the size of it with Ken there next to the wheel. What's that wheel's got to be, 6 feet across? More like 8 feet across the wheel. So we're just coming into Mildura, which is the biggest regional city around northwestern Victoria. Mildura seems to be completely surrounded by thousands of acres of grapevines. So we're about to cross over the bridge over the Murray River, and into New South Wales briefly.
It's actually a one-lane bridge, and it's also a drawbridge. Right in the middle of the span there.
Here we are at the junction of the Murray and the Darling rivers. The Murray-Darling river system is the longest in Australia, and this is where the two rivers meet. And there's Big Brother.
Hello. Okay, we are now in New South Wales, travelling on the Silver City Highway on our way to Broken Hill. As you can see, the terrain has changed somewhat. Much drier.
Here we are by the side of the road, a big flock of, a small flock of emus, all just grazing around in the green irrigated field over there.
A dozen of them.
We're probably 200 yards away from them, but they've all stopped to have a look at us.
Here we are in the outskirts of Broken Hill. Okay, straight ahead of us is a derrick which sends the miners down into the depths of the earth, up to 1.5 miles below the surface.
So this is the visitor centre and restaurant sitting up on top of the slag heap. So here we are now on top of the slag heap, looking out over Broken Hill town. And this is the Miners' Memorial to all of the miners who've been killed in accidents here. All listed by year, except the top ones are prior to 1885. A lot of the early ones were from lead poisoning.
Ages. The youngest is 14 years old.
It's Friday morning, and we are heading out of Broken Hill just for a little while to a hill where there's some huge rock sculptures that were commissioned to be done by artists from all over the world. So, as you can see, the landscape is pretty dry and a lot of red soil, some scrubland, about all there is all around it. There goes my ride. Heading up to the top of the sculpture hill. And here are some of the sculptures. We'll get up a bit closer in a second. There's Broken Hill way off in the distance there. Just a beautiful panoramic view all around. A little closer, this one over in the middle there now is one of the more famous of the sculptures. Ken's going to drive back down the road that we came up, and I'm going to follow the walking trail all the way down the hill to the living desert. There's some Sturt's Desert Pea.
South Australian Stadium.
And a little bit of wattle. Right here. And off in the distance is the trail that I walked down. There's Ken down there. There's Ken, sorry. Next to his mate. Yeah, a couple more years and lose a few pounds. That could be you.
Gee, thanks.
Apparently in this enclosed area we can't get into here, there's remains of 7 ovens, ground ovens from the Aborigines. There's a full-neck lizard sitting by the roadside, not caring about anything. We're in Silverton now, which is about 25 kilometres outside of Broken Hill. It's a historic town, literally a ghost town, and this is also where Mad Max, the movie with Mel Gibson, was filmed, followed by several others. So we're going to go have a look at the museum inside the old jail. Outside here is one of the lifts from one of the mines. This is what took men down thousands of feet underground. 2,770 feet in this case. Going into the cafe to have some afternoon tea, scones and jam and cream. Silverton Hotel. Silverton is the town where Mad Max and a few other movies were filmed. This is Mad Max's GTO, I guess. This is called Mundy Lookout, and it's just past Silverton, which has come from. And it's as far as we're going today. We're going to head back to Broken Hill for dinner and then pick up the group tomorrow and then head out of town. But this gives you an idea of the terrain and how flat and arid it is that we're heading off into. This is the Broken Hill Show, which is like the county fair. Saturday morning, September 16th, and we've come to look at the Royal Flying Doctor Service, which has been in operation for probably 70 or 80 years or something. We'll find out, I guess, when we get into the visitor centre. But they provide medical services throughout the outback. Here's the current Flying Doctor plane from Broken Hill. The answer to how long it's been in operation is since 1928, when it first started in Queensland, and then the Broken Hill base that we're at the moment began operation in 1936, and all of this was made possible by the earliest pedal-operated radios, two-way radios. In 1951, a nurse came up with the inspired idea of creating these body charts so that the people could, when talking to the doctor over the radio, could simply indicate a number or a letter to describe where the pain was occurring and what kind of pain it was. Reverend John Flynn was the founder of the original predecessor of the Flying Doctor Service.
So this is the communications room. This operates working days. We have a 24-hour duty crew, and they're rostered up on the whiteboard there for the day and for the night. So whoever the doctor on duty is, takes the calls at home. We're the only base that has a permanent flying dentist. So she packs up her fold-up chair, which is very similar to the one in the museum there, her laptop and her toolbox, and off she goes for the day. The yellow pins, part of the 22 bases around Australia. So you can see we do cross borders, which means the doctors have to be registered in 3 states. One is the clinic plane, which is this one in front of us, ready for flight out on Monday. They leave about 8 o'clock in the morning.
So here we are at the designated meeting place and time to pick up the tour. And this is the company that's going to lead us off. And here we all are heading off together. Turns out there's only 3 vehicles total. And we are on our way.
It's a last minute change in the convoy. We're down another vehicle. So we're down to 2 tag-alongs and 1 leader, which makes for a nice cosy little group. Actually, it'll be really good rather than a convoy. But,
Yeah, just learned that a lot of the scrub out here is actually saltbush, which has a very high nutrition value and is good food for animals and can actually support wild stock or stock sheep and cattle during drought. So we're about 10 minutes out of town and we're on the dirt road waiting. Apparently there will be some more sealed road before we leave permanently, but this is what we're going to see a lot of over the next couple of weeks. This and a lot worse, I guess. This is probably the best of them. The average rainfall around here is about 8 inches a year, I think I said. And in some years it's as low as 2 inches. There's no regularity to it, and there's no real seasonality to it. So it can rain any time or not at all. Very arid and desolate. Beautiful red soil. Short stretch of blacktop road here and some cattle grazing beside the road that we're just going to slow down. Historic gravesite here that's been restored in the last 10 years, but interesting epitaph. For charity covereth a multitude of sins. Just stopped for an afternoon tea. So we've just pulled over to have a look at all these sulfur-crested cockatoos. I guess there's a dam here and some water, and it's just actually probably 100 or more of them here. First kangaroos, or actually wallabies, grey wallabies. This one's hiding in the bushes over here. There he goes. There he is. Just stopped to have a look.
quite big it is too.
Heading off to historic Milparinka. We're just a little way west of Milparinga now and going for a walk. It looks like an old dry creek bed. Or apparently it's not so dry. Old woolly wagtail skin on French. Beautiful area. Michael Raewin up in the tree up there, making a racket. Here we are at the first camp. Took us about, half an hour, 30 minutes to set it up. Beautiful setting.